Hello, boys and girls. So today we are going to be learning about internet safety. Our topic for today is called It Starts With Me, How to Use the Internet Safely. So the objective for our lesson is to safely research, interact with others, and protecting our identities online. So the reason why we're learning about this, boys and girls, is because starting this year, we're going to be using the internet more often to conduct research online when we're doing projects. We're going to be collaborating together through email. So what that means is when you find something that you would like to share with your classmates that's going to help each other when you're doing your projects, you're going to be sending it to them through email, through your school email. Also, when you are using online social media sites, I know that you all are very big fans of TikTok. We need to learn how it is that we need to keep ourselves safe and how we engage through online learning websites. Meaning that if you create a free account, you need to make sure that your parents are aware of it and you cannot be using your real name because then there are people that may try to steal your identity. We may also be victims to online hackers. So these are people that like to steal other people's personal information. So it's very important that we are able to identify warning signs, meaning that if something doesn't seem right, then it probably isn't. And we need to know how is it that we are going to protect ourselves online. So this lesson through this Padlet is going to teach you how to protect your identity online with tips, videos, games, and resources so that we can know how to safely use the internet. So this follows the AASL standard of engagement. What that means is that we are going to learn how to safely use the internet in order to engage or to work with others online and in a safe manner. So our discussion question, this is a question that I want you to think about through this entire lesson. Your discussion question that you will be asking yourself is, what are some ways in which you can protect your identity online? So as you're reading the pictures and you're listening to the videos and playing the games, I want you to think, what are some ways, and you can write these down on a piece of paper or in your notebook, what are some ways that you can protect yourself online? Because there is more than one, and we need to know how we can protect our online identity. So I'm going to go through the resources with you, so this way you know everything that you need to complete for this Padlet lesson. So the first video is a common sense media video. It talks about protecting your personal and private information online. So I know that we all love to share online things about us, and that's okay. Sometimes we like to share pictures from vacations or what we're doing in class, and it's perfectly fine if we do this on our class blog or we do it somewhere where only your classmates can see. So things like that are okay, but we need to remember that we can't share information such as our name, where we live, what school we go to, our birthday, because this type of information, online hackers are trying to get this type to steal your identity. And that can affect you when you're older, boys and girls. I know right now we don't really understand what hackers are, which is what we're going to be learning about through these videos. But it's very important that we do not share any of these things online. If you would like to share, your favorite animal or your favorite food or your favorite color, you are more than welcome to do that. But information that tells people about you and where you live and your school and your friends, we cannot be sharing that online. So that's what this video is going to show you. The next video is on digital footprints. So we all know what a footprint is. It's the bottom of our foot. Well, did you know that we also have a digital footprint online? So this video is going to show you some tips on how we can be aware of how to protect our online reputation. So what that means is Every time you post something online or you search something up or you have an account, people can be able to search for you online. And this is going to affect you in the future when you try to go to college or you try to apply to go to a university. They will be looking at things like this. So we need to be able to have a positive digital footprint. So that's what this video is going to show you. And this ties into online safety. How is it that we show ourselves online? The next video is pause and think online. So these are some ways in which we use our head, our arm, our guts, when you get that gut feeling, your legs, your feet, and your heart to think about things that you see online. So if it doesn't feel right, if you don't get a good feeling about it, most likely you shouldn't be doing it, or you should tell an adult, which is very, very important. This video is also going to tell us how we need to stop and think about what we see online, what we read, and what is it that we share, because it's very important to protect our online identities. The next thing that we're looking at is a positive digital footprint picture. So what this is remember, we talked about digital footprints, how everything that you do online follows you. What talks about how is it that we can have a good online identity? Well, think about your profiles. Make sure your profile does not show your face. If it shows your Bitmoji, that's okay, because that's not your actual face. We cannot use our real name because remember, since we are still minors, which means that we are not adults yet, we cannot use our real names because of privacy and protection, okay? It has something to do with something called FERPA, which is a Family Rights Act, meaning that we need to protect you and your identity. The next thing it talks about is positive. Make sure whatever it is that you post online is positive. We don't want negative things because remember, whatever you post, whatever you share, whatever you search stays with you. The next one is permission. It's very, very, very important that you make sure that you always search for things within grown-ups' permission, whether it be myself at school or one of the other teachers or at home with your parents. You always need to make sure that you get permission before you sign up for a brand new account. Another thing is privacy. Like I said, do not write your passwords down. Make sure you do not share them with anybody. The only people that you should be sharing your passwords with would be either myself as your librarian or your teacher, or even your parents. But you cannot share with your best friend, you cannot share with anyone else, because then someone can have access to your account and they can pretend to be you, and we don't want for that to happen. And the last one says to protect. So make sure to protect yourself online. If someone is saying something mean or hurtful to you or someone else, make sure that you tell an adult. Now the next one is a safe online surfing interactive game. So this is a really fun game in which you learn how to use the internet safely, how to protect your information online, digital citizenship, and how is it that we can identify red flags, meaning that if something doesn't seem right, it probably isn't right. So this is a fun way that we can learn about online safety and how to protect ourselves. The next one is a digital citizenship and internet safety tips poster. It just gives us some more tips on how we can protect ourselves online, about passwords, how you need to protect your online reputation. Very, very important. Noticing this, laws. Many of these websites online are for adults. And a lot of this means that you need permission to create an account. And a lot of these are also protected by copyright. So what that means is that we cannot be borrowing information from other people without giving them credit, because then that is illegal. Another thing, very, very important, it says YAPI. What that means is that you need to keep your personal information private. You cannot share everything. Questioning things. Do not believe everything that you see online, boys and girls. Not everything that you see online is true. It's very important that we are critical thinkers when it comes to what we see online. And then if in doubt, think about it and talk it out with an adult. Now, the next one is password safety tips. So this gives you the do's and the don'ts of when it comes to passwords, because we have passwords for a lot of different accounts. The next one is a band runner internet safety game. So this is a really fun way in which we can learn about internet safety in situations that you may actually see or run into while you are working on the internet. So this is a really fun game that I'm sure you all are going to like playing. The next one is some more internet safety tips about how we need to protect ourselves online. We need to think about what we share before we share it, protecting our passwords, and then again, not believing everything that we see online. Now, after you have completed all of these videos, you've watched all of these videos, you've looked and read the posters, you've played the games, and you feel ready, then you are going to take this internet safety quiz. So this internet safety quiz is going to test to see if you've learned what you need to about internet safety. And if you don't pass it, boys and girls, then just go back and watch the videos again. But a lot of these have to do with common sense. Just read the questions carefully and think about it. Remember, if it doesn't seem right, it probably isn't. And then at the very end, there is this student internet contract. So you will need to sign this contract. So what this contract is it is a promise that you will follow all of the rules that are in this contract, meaning that you will not share your password, you will protect your identity online, you will be a good digital citizen, and that you have been educated on this online safety lesson. So remember, this is a contract, it's like a promise. So if you break the rules in this contract, then you will lose your internet privileges at school, meaning that you will not be able to use the internet or your iPad or your Chromebook here at school. You will most likely need to do it under adult supervision, and we don't want for that to happen. You want to be able to use everything. So a way in which that this lesson is going to help you, boys and girls, is that it goes back to your digital footprint. So your digital footprint and your online identity have to do with how is it that you show yourself online. So that's why it's very, very important that we protect our identity online, because this is how people are going to get to know us in the future when you're adults, because future colleges or when you're applying for a job, these people will most likely look up your online profile or whatever it is that's on you online. So they could possibly even Google you, and they're going to check to see what there is online about you before they hire you for a job or before they accept you, which is why it's very important that we are very cautious and careful when it comes to using the internet safely. So I hope you all enjoy this lesson and that you have a lot of fun with these games so that we can learn how it is that we need to protect ourselves online and how to be safe.